Welcome back to Factorio, building the Hyperbase. Alright, I'm at the old one of these. I've finished off building this one. As you can see, we have a couple of fuel trains sitting there waiting. We have a full plastic train which isn't going anywhere because we haven't really done anything to boost the demand for plastic. So it's not helping as much as perhaps it could. So what I've decided to do is add in another control mechanism, if you like, instead of... So I actually took out yet another one of these conversions to petroleum. But I think what I'm going to do is terminate all of the conversion to petroleum. And instead we will put all of this into tanks. A big tank. Oops. And we will... Oh, have I given myself enough room? No. Oh, of course not. Needs to go one up. Before we end up wasting too much of the resource, let's just take it up one. And then we will have room. Maybe it would work slightly better like that. Do I want a second row of them? Maybe. So they're 25k each. That would give us 150k of storage. I basically want at least, say, 100k before I allow any to be converted. It's kind of too far down though, isn't it? Let's keep going with our mining productivity. So basically this one requires light oil to be greater than, say, 100,000. Which it's nowhere near, so this is not on. Presumably, if it's not pumping through here, we can always pump it down here. Let's put another pump in there. Just to make sure it gets blasted through. And I think that is more the change that I want to have implemented. So now there's absolutely nothing going on in these. There should be bulk light oil for the train to fill up and keep filling up. I wouldn't mind if I could actually read this, so maybe I can do that just so I can hover over here. 46,000. So even when there is no train up here, these aren't particularly working, we should be able to keep filling up. 45,000, so it's dropped a little bit, but that's okay, that's the whole point. Because it used to keep getting to a point where these would get to about 7.8k and they would just stop there, and we don't want that. That's the one thing we specifically don't want. I think this will give us a new lease of life. Certainly the hope. You look like you're making stuff. 200, 100. Some of these are completely full already. This one's down at the end, perhaps not so much. And there you go, this is, oh no, that's the oil. The oil train is back. It really doesn't take long for it to unload. Looks like we're going to hit the 8,000 milestone mark very soon. Which, oh, you've just come back because obviously you changed your mind in terms of delivering anything, so that's fine. I probably need a stacker for you.
Tell me your voice password.
No. Silly phone. I don't actually need you to be on. Yeah, we probably need a stacker of some sort here, or even make this into a proper stacker with stations for the plastic, just to get them away from here so that other plastic can fill up. How are we going? 7.3. So this is getting very sporadic now because it hasn't had any real plastic to load into. 40,000. But that's the key good thing is there's that supply we can keep drawing off. 7.4. Oh, and here's another plastic train doing a circuit. Looks like it's also sitting on about 80,000. 7.4. Well, anyway, that looks like it's the sort of thing that I want to do. So let's head down to the new facility we've just built and duplicate this piece of work. We actually need 2 more tanks, don't we? And we have the right stuff. Let's get rid of those. I think actually that will be enough. It's just a quick pickup. A quick pickup job. So hopefully this will fix the fueling problem. I might then move on and even make third fuel and boost the LDS even more. Oh, no, 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 I don't need those. I was building the trains as well, of course, so yeah. Oops, and we've got oil wagons. Boom. So that should be fine. So yeah, I could build out the third one and increase the LDS, and then backfill blue science and yellow science. So that we can wind up to the next level. That's probably the sort of thing that we want to do. Okay. Why don't I just blueprint this little thing? And let's just wipe out all of that. Get some bots to work. And you can perhaps come as far as there. Zero. Okay. You have your condition. Unfortunately, it will need a little bit more boost for this one to work, but up here we should be pretty close. 7.6. We're still working. Oh, we are basically out of light oil anyway, so yeah, it's probably helped, but not quite enough. Over time, the help will get better, I think. Hope. 7. Well, I think we need to stimulate our demand, so you go to silo fuel with your almost full load. That should help to create some demand for the plastic. I think you can go to silo fuel as well. How are we doing down here? Are any of these almost full? 6.5. Might let them get a bit closer. I think I've only got one plastic train for here. Yeah. So we need that one to cycle, or and we probably need to add another one. So it's 76,000. Some more incoming in just a moment. Should spur some action. How close are we? There's a couple that are very close. The others tend to be about halfway. Fuel completely emptied. Comes the second one. So to put things into perspective, we're launching 9 at once. We need about 714, 715 rocket fuel per launch. So sending a train of about 7,500 is good for about 10 launches. Each one of these is about 9. So it's really, those 2 trains will only give us 2 cycles of launches. and a tiny bit of change. But with a bit of luck, it has demanded a little bit of extra plastic. Which is something else we can keep a little bit of an eye on. So in here, that's the green circuit train. 6.4 thousand red. Yeah, well, there's 311,000 sitting there, so it's not really in a hurry to pick it up. Likewise in here there's 155,000, and over here, if anything, that's the lightest. But still, we need these trains that are lined up waiting here to completely empty and move on. 440. 85,000. So yeah, the interesting thing will be to see if we get any additional launches after the second one before further fuel turns up. They're certainly not even anymore. Let's keep those techs ticking over. That was 380. I suppose we're sort of suggesting that 500 is our interim target. As some have claimed, that's sort of what you need for being serious about direct mining to train. I'm not sure if our lower level of productivity is really hurting us, though. I haven't noticed it hurting us. It's not. I've identified a problem, and the solution has been, well, we need to process this mining faster. That's not been an issue so far, so that's good. But we're not really taxing right at the limit yet, so it's perhaps not an entirely fair thing. Well, it does look like we did actually generate at least 2 additional launches. Probably that's it, though. And it doesn't seem that likely that it's going to pick up these. Maybe from there. But there's still some here, so perhaps not. So an LDS has gone out. That could generate more plastic demand. I might have to tell this one just to go. There's the LDS. What's the plastic supply there? It's tons. It's already full again. And plastic is shut down there. Plastic's not shut down here, though. So this, oh, this one, we probably need another option going down to the LDS for plastic in here. So maybe I was a little bit quick turning the train off. They're kind of stuck. They have no supply in there. Up here, It is building up, which is good because we're filling in that train. 6 and 6.9. Okay, so I guess what I'll do is, yeah, it's going to stop again. So how far did we get? 33,000. It's going to slow down very soon. Or not, actually. Perhaps we'll actually get a decent kick on from that, and 7 and 6.1 will be enough. But I think I will generate another train so that the new facility can have a train going down to the LDS, especially if we're going to increase the size of the LDS very shortly. It certainly makes sense. Oh, I didn't really need those. Let us get our 8 wagons, our 8 locos rather, our 20 wagons. There you go. That's pretty much it. Keep this little factory ticking over slightly. Ooh, I don't like that. We might have to start looking at some conversions of our early mining into direct mining. Can't be too far off. Okay. This one can be a plastic train. And as is our, there you go, that's fired off. So that should push these along. As is our kind of desire with these things. I've only got 5, come on. Should be giving it more than that. Circuit plastic 3 load. Circuit plastic 3 load until inventory full. Then it can be circuit plastic unload until inventory empty. Then circuit plastic 3 load until inventory full. And then LDS, LMNOP, LDS. Or is it plastic LDS? Or is it, have a look via the map view to find out what it really is. It's BLDS plastic 1. BLDS plastic 1 unload until inventory empty. So there's another one that can go down below. Hopefully that will help stimulate a bit of plastic demand. Here, get this one moving. So we've got 61,000 in storage there now. We do have a plastic train, so it's probably building up even more. It is. That one's 7.4, 6.9. So that's good. While that's doing its stuff, I think we should probably look to expand into the steel. this steel and probably the next steel, so that we can bring this one online, because that is what we're going to do next. And we're certainly running out of time with 17 around the corner, even if we now know that it's not going to be January, it's going to be February. But I've got a few episodes to get up that I've pre-recorded already, so it's going to be a little bit of a push to see if we get there before 17 comes out. So I am not 100% sure what it is that I'm going to need over in that other area. Oh yes, and this oil, we are just running from here. It's not having any trouble handling too. And you can see these things are not able to move fully. So it may only be an 88,000, which was 91,000, but with all that productivity, that's just, they're absolutely chockers. So it's no problem. And I need to be wary of these things running out of fuel, or the coal train, which I think was this one. Let's just see when it gets into the light. This poor little thing is kind of smashed. $23, it's going to be a while. Okay, let's go down to the low density structures. And just have a look what we're missing. First of all, here looks like it's mainly the usual beacons and modules. So let's start with the beacons, and track. Beacons, modules, and track. All right, 1,000 tracks, say. $47. Yeah, the stone's starting to build up again. We're on the second to last layer here before we will need to move the train again, and also do some ripping up of this stuff. There's a handful of items here, not a lot. About 3,000 panels that we probably want to get hold of, but not too much else. We're auto trashing it, aren't we? It's a bit dumb. Not sure. Why those were sitting there. Don't really need those things. Electric engines, kind of just in the way, really. Okay, beacons have gone quiet. Let's lay down our beacons. Don't like these numbers. Okay, here we go. Bots away. Tech away. What's this one? 382. See if we're missing anything up here first. Clearly we are. What is it that it's filling in? Oh, okay, steel chests. So we'll have to be bringing steel chests back with us next time. Some other stuff there as well. Here's where the bulk of our missing stuff was, so let's boost that to 100. We were short. Oops, we were short on those. Probably short on these, and it wouldn't surprise me if we're going to need a whole bunch of those as well. Is that it? That is probably it. So we've actually over allowed for beacons. Are we missing any in here? Maybe. Put another one in there. Really want to do is get another beacon in there, but I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it probably would. That one is not active, but we could probably make this move it slightly so that it looks a little bit more like this, and so that's giving that some effect. That should help boost it a little bit. That's what I probably need to do everywhere. Can't actually do any better than that. Unless I can move that up to 2 spots, that might be enough to... It might even be enough to actually get another... although I think it would be in the middle. It might go there. I have to look into that. Anyway, I think we can dump these beacons and grab some, well, grab the other things that we've indicated in here. Getting the rail is probably a good idea. Beacon dump. There you go. Now let's say boost that rail to 2000. Almost there. That's it. Okay, down to modules. I'm not sure if we're missing productivity modules. I'll get some just in case. Let's say 200 and and then the rest as speed modules. And I think we're just down this way. Yep. Probably won't be enough modules. Oh, we had our bot guy in this whole time. Oh, that's fine. Let's come up to the top then. Over to this side. Kind of like to get it done in a slightly orderly way, even though the bots don't want to do it in my order. Come on, what about this one, guys? There you go. We did need some of these, but it looks like it was definitely mainly the speed modules that we were missing. We're going to have to top up on speed modules in just a moment. Come on, this one, this one, this one. These two. It's not that hard. Silly bots. Let's have a look over here. We're still short on the rocket fuel. You are a rocket fuel. You're getting blocked. There is something weird going on here. 652. Yeah. We're not going to wait for that. You can go back to plastic 3 load. I need to do the trick with the buffer chests in there, I think. Where are you going? Circuit. What the hell are you doing down here? And 107,000, but it looks like we're getting a few loads of fuel coming in. Are there any obvious issues with inserters that picked up too many and are holding something that's going to stop a train? No, it doesn't look like it. We're up to this one actually. Looks like they're all just ticking over. Oh, no, you see they're again waiting on. So we're not doing the 4/9 out of here at this point. 107,000. It's got to get up to about 140,000, I think I've set it to. Before it will make a trip. Now we actually are in a strange position of having a balance of rocket fuel for a short while, but it's probably not enough. We are completely out of the modules. Okay, let's get some more. We're coming straight back there in a moment, so it doesn't really matter. Let's get it from this end. Make the robots work from both ends. That will also incidentally create a bit of demand for plastic, which should help. Come on guys, where are you all? One up here. Most of them are fairly close. This is why we had to have such a big module factory. Can't be waiting around for modules endlessly. That's a good point. There's a couple over, well, there's quite a few over here still. What's our production numbers? Almost 400k of iron plate, 230k of copper plate, 170,000 green circuits. Yeah, they're not terrible numbers. They're certainly not terrible numbers. Is that everything? Looks kinda like it. What are we missing here then? There's a lot of flashing going on. We're missing a whole bunch of inserters, it looks like. Do we have any of those? No, so we probably want some of those. Let's get about 400 inserters then. Yeah, probably missing a bunch of the same sort of thing there. We can return the excess for what it's worth. We can partly return the excess. It's worth something. Don't actually want to be flying over there. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, I'm looking for a whole bunch of them, aren't I? Maybe we'll just make that 500 to be on the safe side. Alright. We have to finish this copper as well. That's something else that's a little bit remiss. Okay. I actually expect, oh, there we go. Yes, we do actually need a lot of those after all. I was thinking perhaps we had oversupplied, but perhaps not. In fact, it's still quite possible that we don't even have enough supply. I can see we've got the 50 there. We may have went through 50. Maybe 400 was going to be enough. I don't see a whole lot of flashing lights anymore. Alright, well that's a good start. So this facility is now probably ready, except for the fact that it hasn't got any bots. And I don't have very many bots on me. And for the fact that it's not actually connected up to over here. I don't think, I'm not entirely sure, I'm going to have to do some recalculations, but I'm not convinced that this one necessarily needs to connect in with these. It only really needs to connect in with this one. So I might come over here and see what we're missing over there. Let me just have a quick look at the power grid. Well, we certainly haven't collapsed it yet. Still says it's 1 million because you only get the 0.1 millions now. Registering. Yeah, we just need these to cap off, really. Even, but there you go. Alright, well let's come over. Should I set the copper up? Probably should. Because we are going to need it imminently. See what we're missing. Rails from the looks of things. Well, we're going to employ them somewhere, so and actually let's get rid of these trees wherever they are causing problems. Looks like there should have been one extra robo port just in there. There. It didn't take too long to exhaust our supply of productivity modules. Might even need to stamp one of these down to finish this off. Before we get too into that, let's have a look at, well, the train has gone, obviously, which is good. These two have resumed. This one, I guess it's sort of on the cusp where some still have a little bit of the space science and some ran out. This one's kind of running out. So it is possible we are actually going to need 2 space science trains. And specifically, how is the fueling? 31,000. That has 31,000 in it. I didn't put a pump there, did I? Why is this not filling up any further? That's only 3. That's only, it's not 1,000. This is like empty. That's why. So that may have helped, but that's still empty. What about up here? 40k. We do have a plastic train up there. 7, 6.2. How much do these in fact use? 10. 10 light oil makes, so it's like 100 light oil for one solid fuel. 100, so it's about 100,000 actually only makes 1,000. So when this says it's 7,000 and we need it to fill up to 8,000, if this was full, we'd have just enough to do it, given that we've only allowed it to go to 100k. It's interesting. Well, hopefully that is enough extra. I don't really know. Yeah. Not getting any action out of that one. Alright. So we are going to need the copper, the unconnected copper. I think the only thing it is missing is being connected and having this train start running, so that's B copper 4. And B copper 4 smelt. Let's tell it to start running. It has been told to start running, but this needs... Well, there are bots. What's its problem? Why is it not running? It's automatic. B copper 4. Oh, and there. I told it to stop that way. Okay. Let's get rid of that. And that one is just empty cargo inventory. That has bots. Do we have bots down here? We do actually. And down here we do as well, so that's good. So what we need to do then, well, first of all, what we need to do, I don't like this guy sitting here. I should put a signal in here so it can get past all of this. Let's do that. I think I want to go a little bit further than those signals, say maybe something like that. Mining productivity 382 finished, so 383 to start. Oh, this one, oh, of course, yes. It's moved all the way to the end there, so that's perfect. Let's find where copper actually wants to come out. Well, that's not actually going to work for us because we need to get them all up here anyway. Okay. None of these make sense. All right. So this will be BLDS3. The next one will be the plastic. The next one will be the steel 3. 3 version of steel. And the final one then, I guess, is the copper. It'll be BLDS copper 2. Because it will use the second copper. So it's the bottom one that does the copper. And we want power over here, so whoops. There we go. How does that look? Looks like we consume a very large number of gigawatts now. So this is steel. It's going to have to probably come out a bit and then get up. And this one is copper. It's also going to have to come out and up. Map. We need to get up further. Like that. Might leave a little bit of a gap like so. I guess we can always redo this if it doesn't quite work. So I need a return as well. I might have not left enough room for the return, but I'm sure we can figure something out. Oops, pressing my caps lock instead of my shift key there, so that wasn't being particularly successful. Come on guys, finish up. Good. Now, where exactly? So, this one and this one needs to connect, so I guess what we'll do is come up here. Like so. And where? There it is. Okay. There we go. Come down here, remove the excess. Sort out the signals on this rail. we go. We probably need something up here as well. And up here. Oh, that's probably fine. So the copper return is probably going to have to, well, it could run, I guess, underneath that one and come up around here. That would work. So that's probably, I guess, what we'll do. I'm not sure if we have enough time. We probably don't have enough rail for it. There we go. It's the back end. Now the bots can catch up. We don't have all day for them. Probably means we need more bot speed. Now, to minimize gaps, let's have the crossing next to each other, like so. Means that you actually need to be, oh come on, petty nonsense. No, that was wrong. There we go. So yes, under 100 of this is not going to get us done, but we'll keep going until we're out. Oops, good, caught it just before it stopped. I think that is probably us out. Just before we wrap up, let's have one quick look again to see how this is going. There's nothing in this bottom one, unfortunately, and we're stranded with 6.7 and 7.9, exactly what we were trying to avoid. And the one above it, well, we're using up whatever remains there, which is a good sign. This one might get away, at least one did, so we're probably doing better than we were, but we have this ridiculous situation again. So you are trying to go to circuit plastic 3 low. No, you've just, I don't know why this is how you turn around. If you've made a mistake, you end up out here. It's bizarre. It's not what I want either. So I'm going to have to try and work out why that does that. I'm not sure. We're certainly not going to do it in this episode. How are you doing? You're halfway towards a launch. No, you're not, but yeah. You here we go. So we still have an overabundance, it seems, of the regular science versus the space science, because that's why this is sitting here. So I don't know, we've contained plastic a little bit. Here's another one that's full, so it's not going to help these move on. I don't know how I've overcalculated plastic. It seems like I've overcalculated plastic to some large amount. 7.9, you should be departing very soon, I would expect. $391, $389. Yeah, pretty much everything except these two are done at this point, or these three. Oh, and I didn't even notice us hit the 8,000. So there you go. It's not really a thing that we celebrate. It's more the 10,000s that you can kind of celebrate, I guess. There, it's off. 17k. That's still building up. That's good. Not sure what to do about the plastic, but we'll worry about that at some other point. So thanks for joining me for this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next. Bye bye for now.